I greet you today from the Catherine Smith Center, one of the many buildings fully funded by the Women of the Moose. Isn't it magnificent? Our donations to Moose Haven began with an initial donation from the women and men of the Mooseheart Legion in the spring of 1922 of $30,000 to establish Moose Haven. That same $30,000 is worth nearly $51 million today. Between 1912 and 2004, according to the history that I have access to, the Women of the Moose have donated over $52,100,300, and that's just through 2004. Add to that the $18.5 million we've donated just in the last 5 years. We have built many buildings and renovated others, provided funds for equipment, programs, and daily needs. We provide all of the things our children and seniors need. We, the Women of the Moose, and you should be very proud of your accomplishments. All of this is on top of what we donate to our lodges and associations for their respective fundraising efforts. We also help pay for insurance, taxes, lodge repairs, and renovations. Now I ask you, what's everyone going to do if the Women of the Moose go away? You see, whoever told you we were is absolutely incorrect. This has been quite a year, hasn't it? Several areas of the country are still dealing with the pandemic. Many of our lodges don't understand how the women fit in, and many of our chapters don't know the role that they now play. It's been hard to navigate the turbulent waters of our unification, but I blame a lot of the discord on social media and the fake news or incorrect information that's out there. People who don't know the rules and procedures make others believe they do. And many are still learning what should have been a relatively simple transition. One recent email questioned what direction the chapters were going now that we are one Moose, and what was the date that the chapter would no longer have their own bank account. I gently reminded the writer that in all of the documentation relating to the unification of this organization, we clearly reiterated that the Women of the Moose would not change. No, maybe we would have less officers or less meetings, but nothing else has changed. We provide far too much financial assistance to Mooseheart and Moose Haven to just go away. While some chapters no longer feel they have a place in this fraternity, others are thriving. They meet more than once a month and are having fun, interesting, and informative get-togethers to keep their members interested. Their members look forward to Girls' Night Out and plan their schedules accordingly. Who wouldn't want to learn how to cook, crochet, knit, or maybe even go bowling? We are social beings, and isolation is changing us. I have to share with you that on my recent flight home from Mooseheart graduation, I had the pleasure of sitting with two Franciscan sisters on their way to a retreat. We talked about how people had changed during the last 2 years, how disorderly, rude, and unhinged conduct seems to have caught on as much as baking bread. Bad behavior of all kinds, from rudeness and carelessness to physical violence, has increased. The pandemic has truly loosened the ties between people. Kids stopped going to school. Their parents stopped going to work. Parishioners stopped going to church, and people stopped gathering in general. Sociologists seem to think that all of this isolation has shifted the way we behave. Well, perhaps a self-defense class for our chapters might be in order. As we talked, they asked me if I still worked and what did I do for a living. I proudly told them that I was the CEO of nearly 350,000 amazing women. Oh, you should have seen the look in their eyes. I also shared that we are part of nearly 1 million men and women who are the heart and soul of an organization that provides for children in need and helps to fulfill their dreams of a safe environment and a good education. Children who leave our campus to serve and make a difference in the world in which we live. In addition, We provide for the senior members of our organization so they can retire without worry and live a full, active life in peace and contentment. We also provide tens of millions of dollars to those in need in our communities throughout the United States, Canada, and Great Britain, because that's what we do. They thought our name was a little funny, but gotta tell you, they were very impressed. Our women now have a voice and a vote in the Moose fraternity in the operation of their local lodge, something that hasn't happened in 134 years. More women are now serving as association officers, district officers, and now lodge officers. As of mid-June, there were 2,106 women serving as elected officers of their local lodge and 103 serving at the association level. This is nearly twice the number that I reported last year at this time, and I'm certain there are many more serving at the district level. While the women of the Moose have certainly changed over the past 109 years, the mission and our purpose has not. The women of the Moose are still the financial providers of the Moose Heart School, pharmacy assistants for Moose Haven, daily needs, physical and occupational therapy, the girls and boys athletic programs, necessity for each new child to get the right start at Moose Heart, vision, hearing, and dental needs, and Christmas on both campuses. We bring the music program to our children and the beauty and barbershop to our senior members so they can look and feel their very best. In addition, our chapters have provided nearly $8 million in service to others in their communities by way of volunteer hours, miles driven, and dollars donated. The way I see it, there is definitely still a need. Together, we will make it happen and grow this fraternity to new heights in support of those who depend on us. From the bottom of my heart, I thank each of you for all you do. Please be kind to one another, and please enjoy the rest of your convention.